listening to Pink Lady Presents, only on LA Talk Radio.
I'm gonna live till I die. I'm gonna laugh instead of cry. I'm gonna take the town and turn it upside down. I'm gonna live until I die.
Hello, everyone, and welcome. Welcome to Pink Lady Presents. It ain't over till you say it's over. I just became a new groupie. And the reason I say that is I have found a gentleman who I want to be a groupie for. I mean, I think the word groupie means in love with and a follower and someone who thinks that person is marvelous. Well, it's all of that. And his name is Bill Jones. So now, Bill, I am your groupie, okay?
Oh, thank you.
So you have to understand that when I first saw you perform, and ladies and gentlemen and everyone out there, you're going to hear him in a moment, I was just overwhelmed. So I want you now to overwhelm my audience out there. First off, it's all yours.
There we go. Little thing from the 1880s. In a cavern down by a canyon, excavating for a mine, there lived a miner from North Carolina, and his daughter, sweet Clementine. Now every morning, just about dawning, when the sun began to shine, she would rouse up, get all of her cows up, and walk 'em down to her daddy's mine. She took the footbridge, crossed the water, although she weighed 299. The old bridge trembled, woo-hoo, and disassembled, and dumped her into the salty brine. Crack like thunder, she went under, blowing bubbles right down the line. Now I'm no swimmer, but were she thinner, I might have saved chunky Clementine. She set the record underwater. I thought that she was doing fine. I wasn't nervous, not till the service that they held for Clementine. Now hey there, sailor, out on your whaler, with your harpoon and your trusty line. If she shows now, yeah, there she blows now. It may be Orca Clementine. Oh my darling, oh my darling, oh my darling Clementine. You may be gone, but you're not forgotten. Fare thee well, so long, Clementine.
Now, do you see what I mean by being a groupie? I mean, I'm like so excited.
You're so sweet.
I know, it's really
my
true.
We
gosh.
watched Bill singing with a couple of guys, 5 trumpets,
Yeah.
5
What was the
saxophones,
name of that
5
group?
trombones,
That was the Angel City Big Band.
Angel
that
City
you guys
Big
saw
Band.
me
They were
sing.
keyboard,
fabulous.
guitar,
Yeah.
drums.
Yeah.
Really
Yeah, it was a
great.
full big band.
And
I
it was
have
phenomenal.
I have the pleasure of working with many great big bands, the Johnny Vanna Big Band, the Harry Sullivan Orchestra, occasionally the Angel City Big Band.
And the one that is at Los Cabos, what was that?
Las
Hadas.
Hadas, that's
Yeah.
the Johnny Vanna Big
Yes,
Band alumni.
yes, yes.
And the majority of those guys were with the original big bands, and
Wow.
many of them are well over 60, and so they're not saying that it's over. Matter of
No.
fact, one gentleman, Ethmer Roten, in that band is 96 these days.
A baby, a child, a real child. I joke with people and they'll say, you know, how old are you, Pink? And I'll go, excuse me. Ask me how young I am.
There you go.
Okay, how young are you? And I'll go, I'm going to be into my 86th, no, I'll be 86, going into my 87th year. And they'll go, oh, yeah. I say, yeah, you just keep saying that. It's okay. But first, I have to say, not only am I a groupie with Bill singing, but you are an actor. I have to tell you, I hated and loved you on what I saw and what you're going to see in a minute. I was like, that son of a you-know-what, but then I fell in love with him. Okay, and what I'm talking about is this multifaceted gentleman who was Rod Remington. Okay?
Sounds pornographic. It really does.
I know. Rod Remington on the TV hit show Glee. So we're going to see that now. So here we go.
Local broadcasting legend and man about town, Rod Remington.
Slammin', Sue. The category? Hermaphrodite Nazi sympathizers. And now let's mosey on over to Sue's Corner. Take it away, Sue.
Thanks, Rod.
Well, I have to admit I have a soft spot for the Rolling Stones. I was at Altamont Speedway in '69. I actually saw that guy get stabbed. I popped the question at my building's common use hot tub. Booyah. Not to worry, ladies. It's an open marriage. Most women find me intimidating. The teeth, the hair, it's a lot to take in, and I know it. Can I add a dash of Rod to this lady soup? Correct again. And we certainly wish the couple well. Only the men wear those. And we'll be right back after this. You know, Sue, I like to swing. That Bohemian Rhapsody had me a moving and a shaking. My hairdresser is a gay. And for 15 years, he's been with his partner, also a hairdresser. You're the cat's pajamas. You can't tame the tiger. Sue.
Rod?
Fondue. Bafu. White rappers. And those Jane Addams girls had it going on in all the right places. Right on, soul sister. What about that song about Jesus?
You know, I partied with Freddie Mercury back in the 70s, and I partied hard.
Don't you have a wife, Rod?
She drowned. So now I've got the condo all to myself.
I'll take cat diseases.
I won't. I can't be caged in, Sue. That's why I got my tiger tattoo. Now hold on just a second, Candy.
The zoo's bloodiest weekend in over 6 years.
That's what I call pandemonium. Back then, people weren't so obsessed with labels. I need a gal with a little backbone. I see no reason why they shouldn't be allowed to marry and raise a family of beautiful wigs. I'm sorry. We've made our decision. I'll call you. And we'll be right back.
Now you see what I mean? Oh my God, I loved you.
No shame,
I mean,
no shame
there's love
whatsoever.
and hate, you know what I'm saying?
I know.
Now you also did a few other things. You were with Al Pacino and some things.
That's
Tell
right.
us some of our.
Yeah, I've done a fair number of things over the years. I've made appearances on several television shows. Everything from King of... most people keep seeing me on certain reruns. It's
Right,
great.
right.
I get about 51 cents every time King of
love
Queens
it.
now runs.
Right.
And then I just, more recently, I did an appearance on a Comedy Central show called Workaholics. A lot of fun working with those guys. And then a lot of other things as well. You can find my IMDb page, and it's littered with lots of appearances and what have you.
I'm going to ask you a question.
Yeah, well, let me
Go
just
ahead,
ask you.
go ahead.
I wrote an email. I seldom, if ever, do
know,
this.
I know.
But I wrote an email to Bill, and I said, you have been the most obnoxious, annoying,
it's funny.
antagonistic
Right.
person, and we loved it because
Oh,
he
yeah.
was so true to character. How can such a likable guy be so horrible?
yeah.
I
And
love
you
it.
did it. You pulled it off.
That was so fun. It was so fun doing Rod Remington, and I was truly honored and humbled by the talent that surrounded me on the set of Glee. I especially had great fun working with Jane Lynch, who is just
wow.
fabulous performer, wonderful actress, and she helps to elevate the scene whenever she's in it. She really does. So it was fun to be able to take a character based upon people that I've known, and probably many of us have known, a guy who's a true legend in his own mind. A guy who, it's so funny. I think there's a gentleman that many people in Los Angeles will remember. Someone came up to me, a guy named Harry Middlebrooks, and said, all right, you were doing Jerry Dunphy, weren't you?
I love it.
And somebody else comes up to me and calls out the name of a guy in New York, and another person calls off, Hal Fishman. No, not Hal Fishman, for God's sake. And so it's sort of an amalgam, sort of filtered through me. Rod Remington was a very, very fun ride. 6 seasons on Glee.
You also did Days of Our Lives.
I did that.
What
not
did
too
you
long
play
ago.
in that?
I played a multi-millionaire named Brad Bush.
Wow.
And I was, interested in the young man and his deal and what have you. And my wife came on to the guy, and it's just, a lot of fun.
How long were you on Days of Our Lives?
I was on Days 3 episodes, and we're hoping that maybe someday they'll come to their good sense and bring me back.
Yes, bring him
let's start
back.
a campaign right now.
There seems to be a theme. You have Rod Remington and Brad Bush. Any other similar names that you're...
Well, they're probably so. I can't recall them all right now.
I love it. Well,
yeah.
now, you also were with Tony Bennett.
Oh, I had the great pleasure of opening for Mr. Bennett. That was a benefit that I did. I was with the Big Band alumni, and we were on as part of the early evening entertainment at the Beverly Hilton for St. Jude's Children's Hospital. And that was an amazing event. I mean, you had Phil Donahue emceeing. You had some guy named Ray Romano doing comedy. And I did my thing, and a few people, looked up and sort of smiled, and I think they must have liked me. Anyway, I went back out into the green room, and there, and lo and behold, was the man who was the headliner of the night, Mr. Tony Bennett. And when I met him, he was only 86 at the time. He's 92 now. Wow. And I told him, honestly, you inspire me, because I took about 15 years off when I first moved to Los Angeles.
I
took about 15 years off to become the next great actor from singing. And so I started back up. And then I realized, Mr. Bennett might have just shown up and might have missed my performance entirely. And he might wonder, what the hell is, you inspire me? Yeah, sure. I said, I was singing with a big band earlier. And he went, oh, what's your name, kid?
I love it.
And I told him Bill A. Jones, and and so we had a nice little meeting.
Well, in between, I know this is fabulous, because so many of people get so involved in their careers that they literally, Bill, don't do anything else. But you've done a lot. Your volunteer work, I think, has been unreal. And if you could tell us about that, I think our audience would really like to hear about it.
I'm not sure when the air date of this particular show is, but if this airs before September 12th, I'll be emceeing the opening ceremonies of something called Not on Our Watch. And this is something that is close to your heart. This deals with veteran suicide. And for about a certain number of days, I forget how many, between September 12th and the 15th, there's going to be a constant vigil of someone marching back and forth in honor of the 20 to 22 veterans who kill themselves every day from suicide, post-traumatic stress, et cetera. And it's a horrible problem. And that event is happening at something park. I forget the name of it. Verdugo Park in Glendale for folks in Southern California on the 12th at 10 a.m. And I'll be emceeing that. But then there's another event. It's interesting how I've somehow gotten connected with suicide prevention. I'm going to be doing the 4th annual Here's to Life, which is coming up September 30th. And this is in a historic venue. You remember the old Coconut Grove here in Los Angeles?
Sure.
Well, they preserved...
My mother told me about that.
Yes, exactly. They preserved part of the Coconut Grove when they tore down the old Ambassador Hotel, and it's next to a high school, Robert F. Kennedy High School, in the Mid-Wilshire district of Los Angeles. And that's going to be the venue this year.
When is that again?
September 30th.
Great.
And you can get more information on that at here'stolifela.org.
Say that once more.
That's here'stolifela.org. And that's September 30th. And I'll be co-hosting that. I'll be doing some singing. And my friend Martha Taylor Lacroix is the person who came up with that.
Love it.
Yeah.
And also, we have 2 CDs. One of them is called I've Heard That Song by Bill A. Jones. and the other one is Bill A. Jones, Frankly. And where can people get these wonderful CDs?
You know, you can order these from cdbaby.com, or you can go to my website, which might be a simpler thing.
Okay.
Go to billajones.com, click on Singer, and then you'll see CDs or something like that. And you can buy individual tracks, download them, or you can order an actual CD, which is always fun. Or if you come to one of my performances, typically I have CDs with me, and we'll be glad to sell them at a discount in honor of folks who come out to support my live performances.
And I have to tell you, I'm so excited. You and my dear friend Nancy Osborne are going to be doing what they call Battle of the Big Bands. You want to tell them about that? I'm so excited.
Well, I know that you do that periodically.
Yes, yes, that's a tour that I've been involved with for, this is my 4th tour with them. Excuse me. And it's a marvelous concept. You've got 30 musicians on stage. You have 2 full bands. One band will play, the other one plays, and whatever. The first battle of the big bands is Glenn Miller versus Tommy Dorsey. And I MC and I sing, you know, some of the Glenn Miller things, some of the, like Chattanooga Choo Choo
and when
all
will that
stuff.
be?
Well, that's touring all over the West Coast right now. Some of the performances in this neck of the woods would be Walnut Creek, California, September 9th, Carmel, the 23rd of September.
Wow.
Thousand Oaks is one of the next Los
That's
Angeles
near us,
area
everyone, Thousand
That's
Oaks.
on October 21st.
And where will that be in Thousand
That's
Oaks?
going to be at the
Performing Arts Center?
At the Performing Arts Center, absolutely, and you can get tickets through that. And then Mountain View, November 4th, something like that.
And next year,
and we're in discussions.
hoping.
Hopefully,
Yes.
we're going to be able to make this happen.
Well, we'll see if we can make this
to have
happen.
the big bands and Bill Jones and Nancy Osborne at our Los Angeles National Cemetery.
So yeah,
never been done before.
We'll see if we can pull that
to
all
honor
together.
the memories of all those that are interred. 88,800 veterans are there.
Wow!
And
we
once
want
more-
to bring their families in so that they can pay tribute with great entertainment on their eternal resting place.
Yeah.
And once more, I'm going to ask you, please, to sing a second song.
All right, but I have to get in one last plug.
Please, sure.
My show, my nightclub show.
Oh, is that?
Yeah, I'm going to be doing that in Orange County at the Baha'i Corinthian Yacht Club, November the 2nd.
Say that again.
That's November 2nd.
Right.
I will be doing my show with what are called the A Players, Bill A. Jones and the A Players.
I love it.
6 pieces, you know, and we did very well. We sold out that venue last time we were down there. We sold out and turned away people when we were at Vitello's, for example.
Is that a Friday night?
That is a Friday night.
Okay, November 2nd.
November 2nd. And
at the...
You know,
At
that's
the-
going to be the Baha'i Corinthian Yacht Club.
Baha'i Corinthian
You know,
Yacht.
the best way to find out information about all of this is go to my website, billajones.com. If you scroll down a little bit, you'll see a place where you can subscribe for my newsletter, which I'll send out periodically. And then also there's latest news. Click on that, and it'll bring up one of my recent newsletters that's got information about the Here's to Life, about Not on Our Watch, about the November 2nd thing, all of that. So just a suggestion. That's billajones.com.
And if for any reason they don't have that address correctly, go to where you came to see this show on Pink Lady Presents LA, and we will be happy to refer any inquiries to this amazing performer, Bill A. Jones.
Thank you, Dov. Thank you, Pink.
Thank you.
All right.
We're ready.
You want another song?
One more. Let's do it.
Let's do it then. Night and day, you are the one. Only you beneath the moon and under the sun. Whether near to me or far, it makes no difference where you are. I think of you day and night and day. Why is it so that this longing for you follows wherever I go? In the roaring traffic's boom, in the silence of my lonely room, I think of you day and night and day. the height of me. There's an oh, such a hungry yearning burning inside of me. And this torment won't be through till you let me spend my life making love to you day and night, night and day. It's about right here where we have the big band do some stuff when you come to see me. You are the one, day and night. Sa-ba-da-bum. Whether near to me or far, it makes no difference where you are. I think of you day and night, night and day, under the height of me. There's an oh, such a hungry yearning burning inside of me. And this torment won't be through till you let me spend my life making love to you day and night, night and day. I've screwed up entirely on the track. We may have to cut that out.
You know, this is live, so therefore,
don't worry
it
about
is what it is.
You have to pardon me, folks. I think I totally messed that up, so just ignore that. Delete that part. Go to my website and you'll see, much better examples of me singing.
Meanwhile,
or
yes,
come out to the next couple of shows.
That's right.
And get to see it live and in person.
Most Tuesday mornings I'm available to sing. I joined the Big Band alumni over in Northridge. There's information on that on the website.
Great.
And then Tuesday night, September 26th, I'll be performing at Viva Cantina in Burbank in the rear stage with the Flight 584 Big Band.
Mm-hmm.
And
there is so much that you all can become a groupie like me. So, ladies and gentlemen, God bless. We will be right back. Thank you, Bill A. Jones.
Thank you.
I believe it is not the breaths we take in life that count. It's what we do with the breaths we take. And I should know. 84 years young. Today on this stage, you will see talented performers all over the age of 60.
Life is a cabaret, old chum. It's only a cabaret, old chum.
Money! You got lots of friends hanging around that door.
I'm gonna live and live now, 'cause everything's coming up rosy.
Then your fingers touched my silent heart and taught it how to sing.
Dear, with your lips to mine, of rhapsody divine, zing went the strings of my heart.
To reach the unreachable stars.
But I've got to do it all in 3 minutes or less. How about maybe ragtime? How about boogie woogie?
Woo! Darling, let's dance. Let the music take us. The blues ain't gonna break us. We won't give it no chance.
Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
treated me so kind. I'm about to lose my mind. You made me so very happy.
So hush, little baby, don't you cry.
To reach the unreachable
We are honored in so many ways to have Tommy Lasorda in our lives.
It was good to see the youngsters performing up there.
Miss Ann Margaret.
Senior Star Power Lifetime Achievement Award, Mr. Tony Orlando.
Hit it, my boy. Let's see what we get here. Come on, you know it. Let's do it together. You ready? Now the whole place is cheering, 'cause they can't believe what they see. 100 yellow ribbons around the old tree. We're gonna tie those beautiful ribbons, each beautiful ribbon. Oh yeah, just like that. Keep it right there.
It's a great honor to work with all these.
We are back. Well, I'm back with a very handsome gentleman sitting beside me in a cowboy hat. Wow. Why is it we women, and I know you women out there are just like I am, we see a cowboy hat and we go, wow. Well, that's the way I feel about our next guest, Robert, and his Lanthier. Am I correct?
Correct.
And Robert is a gentleman from Quebec, Canada. When did you
But
come
that's
here?
wait a minute. That's not the best part.
Oh, the best
part is then he moved to where?
Well,
Massachusetts.
When
Yes.
1953, I moved to Massachusetts.
We're
What
from
part?
we're from Massachusetts.
Oh, great. It was Western Mass.
Okay.
Greenfield, Turners Fall, Northampton area,
Oh,
Springfield.
okay. We're
yeah.
from the Boston, Melrose, Malden area,
Yeah.
but Massachusetts.
Well, I saw that in the bio. I said, okay, now we
Yeah.
know what to ascribe your success.
Well, they
you
say
went to Massachusetts.
Well, they say I have a Eastern accent when I
Yes.
speak.
Okay, and another thing, and I want to thank you for your service. He was an Air Force jet fighter crew chief. What does that mean to our audience?
Well, that's a jet fighter mechanic. I was the F-4 Phantom during the Vietnam War, so that's what
Wow.
I did.
Right. Thank you for your
Now, I have to
service.
admit, though, unlike some people would say, well, I was there in Vietnam and all that, I was never there. I was on my way twice, but they turned around and came back.
Really?
Yeah.
I served 6 years during Vietnam, but I was never in country either.
Right.
They sent me to France, Spain, Morocco, Libya, and Germany. So nobody ever shot at me, and I never shot at anyone.
And then when you came out here, you did quite a bit of acting. So, like tell us about that.
Well, it was never a big part in the movie, but I did work with Sylvester Stallone.
And what movie was
It
that?
was called Fist.
Oh,
You know,
okay.
about it was a loosely based movie about Jimmy Hoffa, so it's pretty much what it was.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
And I worked with Rock Hudson and Brian Keith in a wonderful movie called World War III. I played a Russian in that picture.
Really?
Yeah, I played a
love
Russian in
it.
that picture. Yes, definitely.
With an Eastern accent, right now.
Well, I didn't have much to say. I didn't have much to say, no.
Yeah.
But I was driving the car that Brian Keith's car gets blown up in the picture. You know, they wanted to get rid of him. You know, the bad people over there. They wanted to
Okay.
get rid of him. Yeah. But those guys are very wonderful to work with. Brian Keith, as a matter of fact, this year we are honoring him with the National Veterans Memorial Medal.
Oh,
And
wow.
at the Silver Spur, and Kathy Garver is going to be there to receive it for him because she was on Family Affair.
Well,
TV
you know what?
series.
Right in the beginning, why don't we state, because we want to do this throughout the show, tell us about what's happening on September 21st.
Well,
because that's a biggie with you.
Well, as you know,
and everybody.
As you know, my dear woman, I'm the president of of an organization called RealCowboys.org.
That's REEL, Real.
Right, RealCowboys.org. You go online, you'll be able to see everything on the home page. I've been the president for the past 9 years, and I've been with the Cowboys longer than anybody that's there, 21 years.
Wow.
And on September 21st at the Sportsman's Lodge in Studio City, I'm producing the show called the Silver Spur Award Show, and it's the 21st annual Silver Spur Award Show. And we have been labeled as the Oscars for Westerns.
Oh, I love that.
Right, and we're known in 188 countries around the world, to which is only 196. Right. So we're not known in Venezuela or North Korea or any place like that.
Yet.
El Salvador. Not yet. But it's a charity event, and we do this every year because we're a nonprofit 501c3. And another thing that's very, very important is that we're always looking for good sponsorship money every year.
Yes.
There's millionaires out there, there's celebrities out there that's got buku dollars, and they have to pay taxes like everybody else. So we're going to take some of that money and put it where it does the most good. Write us a check to Real Cowboys for $20, $25, $50, $100,000, and it goes to the charity that we do every year. This year's charity is the Taurus Foundation, which helps the severely injured stuntmen and stuntwomen.
Oh, wait a minute. Well, let's say that again. So what is it called?
The Taurus, as in Taurus the Bull, Taurus Foundation.
T-A-U-R-S.
T-A-U-R-U-S.
T-A-U-R-U-S. T-A-U.
R-U-S.
R-U-S.
Yeah.
Foundation.
Right.
Okay. And it helps, again.
The severely injured stuntmen and stuntwomen.
Wow, I think that's fabulous.
And I'm a Taurus myself in real life.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh.
And one of the people who sat in that chair
a few weeks ago, right,
was the president of Screen Actors Guild, Jane Austen, who with
Yes.
her husband are stunt people.
Stunt people.
And I know Jane.
And Kurt.
Right.
Yeah.
And Kurt Lott, yeah.
Right. And she belongs to the American Legion in Hollywood.
Yes,
she
43.
To which I am a member myself.
And I am too. Yeah, we've both been members.
Wow.
Wonderful. Well, absolutely wonderful.
Yeah.
So anyway, and also we help the veterans.
Uh-huh.
We help the veterans, the National Veterans Memorial. And we have that also every year. And last year we had some wonderful World War II veterans, and Korean War and Vietnam veterans that came.
Fabulous.
So one gentleman, he's 96 years old, he's 97 now.
And who is it?
I don't remember his name,
Oh,
but
okay.
he was there last year dressed in his 8th Air Force World War II uniform.
Okay.
I love
He was a
that.
B-24 bomber pilot in World War II.
Wow.
Just like an acquaintance of mine that I knew several years ago, Jimmy Stewart, flew the same kind of plane. Yes, Jimmy Stewart. God bless that wonderful man.
Well, you have phenomenal members. I mean, like, I don't even, I can't even begin to tell the names, but tell us a few of them.
Well, when people go on realcowboys.org, and of course remember it's REEL, there's a movie reel, and you go to members and you click on members and you'll be just astonished of all the members of our Real Cowboys in there. People like John Voight, and of course some of them have passed away, but they're still lifetime members.
Yes.
We had Ernie Borgnine, and we had and a wonderful lady friend of mine. She just turned 95 and still looks young. Rhonda Fleming. She was honored to it.
Yes.
Angie Dickinson and Robert Fuller and people like Morgan Freeman and Lou Gossett Jr. On and on and on. But a very special lady. She passed in 2010. That was 91 years old. Her name was Edith Shane, and she was a member of the Real Cowboys. But those of you who remember 1945, August the 14th, when the Japanese surrendered, she was the nurse that was kissed by the sailor in Times Square.
No way. Wait a minute, what was her name again?
Edith Shane.
Edith Shane.
S-H-A-I-N, that's her last name, yeah. And she was a tiny little lady,
Oh.
but she made a major impact that
And
day.
a sculpture of that piece is at the USS Battleship Iowa.
Right, and she was there to
You
dedicate.
have pictures with it.
And she was there to dedicate that.
Oh
Yes,
my
yeah.
goodness.
Right.
Well, like last year, for example, the Silver Spur 2017, we honored that night, and he sang two beautiful songs. Mr. Chris Christopherson he was there.
Yes.
We honored Kevin Sorbo, a wonderful man who does great faith-based movies, a wonderful, wonderful guy. We had Barry Corbin. We had Wilford Brimley to be honored last year.
Wow.
And a wonderful Catherine Ross also.
Yes.
And Marguerite Happy, a female stunt woman you would not believe. And by the way, Marguerite is going to be the MC this year.
This year.
So just for the heck of it,
Yeah.
I'm going to tell you who is all coming to the Silver Spur.
Who is all coming?
Would you please tell us
would
who's
you
coming?
please tell
Oh,
us?
my God.
On September 21st at Sportsman's Lodge.
5
Go ahead.
o'clock. We have Sam Elliott and Catherine Ross coming.
Okay.
Fabulous. Fabulous.
And we have Patrick Wayne that's going to be honored that night. and Bill McDonald, his presenter, and we have Dawn Wells from the Gilligan's Island.
Yes.
And by the way, these people that are honored with the Silver Spur, they have worked in Western movies, and she did. She did Bonanza, Maverick, and everything.
Dawn was with you at the We Are America at the Madrid Theater.
That's right, in our show there. She
right,
came.
And Darby Hinton from the old Daniel Boone show is going to be her presenter.
Oh,
and he's
my
a great guy. And we've got, also, we're celebrating the 60th anniversary of the famous TV show, The Rifleman, with Chuck Connors.
Was
and Johnny Crawford.
Johnny Crawford.
Whom we just installed in our American Legion Post 43 in Hollywood.
Yes.
This past summer.
Right, and he's going to be honored with the Silver Spur.
Oh,
and one of Chuck Connors' sons, Steve Connors, is going to be his presenter.
Oh, that's
And one of your dear friends, Ruta Lee, is.
Yes.
Well, Ruta, we honored her in 2014, the Silver Spur, and Rich Little was her presenter.
Oh, my.
It was a night to remember. I mean, we didn't know if it was Rich Little or Ronald Reagan or Jimmy Stewart or,
all of those.
or John Wayne. All of those
right.
were there. Yes, it was hilarious that night. Brought the house down.
Yep.
But also this year we got Robert Carradine. He's going to be honored. And we have Billy Zane is going to be honored. And Billy asked
Billy
me.
was in what? A lot of
well, he was a lot of movies, but he's known for
He was a
back
city
in 1980.
accounter as well, I think.
Well, yeah, but he was known for the famous World War II movie Memphis Belle back in 1990.
Oh, wow, okay.
And also Titanic, where he played the guy who was going to marry Kate Winslet, but she fell in love with Leonardo DiCaprio instead. He was in that, and also 25 years ago he did a movie called Tombstone, a western about Wyatt Earp with Kurt Russell, and Sam Elliott was in that movie, and that's a classic. I was just in Tombstone, by the way, in June, and that's where I met Billy Zane, and he was thrilled to be honored with the Silver Spur this year.
Well, I was just telling Dove yesterday that we were talking about Westerns. I miss, I really do. I miss the amount of Westerns that we had years ago. I just do. You're doing a new Western coming up, Montoya's Betrayal.
Well, Montoya's Betrayal.
Tell us about that, because I'm so glad that you're doing it.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. Some of the Westerns we've had in the past few years, and I'm not going to mention any titles, but people out there will know, I'm fed up with the dirty words and the nudity in Western movies, because that's not where the Western lore is supposed to be.
That's right.
So my pitch of Montoya's Betrayal, it has a little bit of faith base in it, and it's about greed and how God turns things around. And my good friend Trini Lopez is playing the lead character.
Wow.
And I've got Ed Faulkner, who did a lot of work with John Wayne Pictures. I've got Kevin Sorbo. I got Darby Hinton. Barry Corbin is playing the doctor in that picture.
Great cast.
And let's see, I've got. He's working on if he's going to make it as Ken Osmond, who was Eddie Haskell on Leave It to Beaver, is going to play a part.
Wow.
Johnny Crawford to himself, and on and on and on. So it's going to be a good movie, and all I need is $21 million to do the whole picture.
That's it.
So anybody out there that would have that kind of money, you'll double your money, and it's going to be well directed, well received, and it's going to make money around the world because the world. All around the world, they love Trini Lopez.
Yes.
They're waiting for him to come to the theaters. I mean, he packs houses everywhere he plays.
We're waiting for a Western. I mean, I remember the day. What was it, Shane?
Yes.
I mean, that you
Alan
sat
Ladd.
there, Alan Ladd, and you cried and you felt simpatico to the characters. I mean, it was real life with no bad words, with no. Anything derogatory.
It was wholesome. It was family entertainment, and there were values.
Well,
and that's all missing now.
Speaking of the movie Shane,
yes,
only one survivor of that movie
who's
still alive,
that?
and he's a member of the Real Cowboys. His name is Ewing Lucky Brown. He's 97 years old. He's also the last survivor of Spanky and Alfalfa in our gang. He played Algernon, Stinky, the rich kid, in there.
Really?
And not only that, his granduncle, his mother's uncle, was Pat Garrett, who shot Billy the Kid.
Right.
That gentleman is a member of our Real Cowboys.
We were talking the other day on the phone, and I wanted to mention two quick stories. One was I asked Robert about the name I remember in stunt work in Westerns. It was a man named Yucca McCanut.
Yeah, Yakima.
I never heard. I thought he was kidding me.
No, you don't kid about that.
He was from a northern, I think either Oregon or Washington, but he's the one that taught John Wayne all the stunt work.
Yeah,
way back when.
If the stagecoach driver was shot, there was always somebody who would go down under the carriage, under the horses, climb up on a horse, and stop the stagecoach. It was Yakimikan.
Right, but in the movie it's supposed to be John Wayne doing
Yes,
that.
yeah,
But still, but
he
Yakima
was
did
his
all that
stunt
great
double.
stuff.
Yeah.
Did that
The
great.
other story, personal story, I came to California in 1970, and at the time Marina City Club was just in its beginnings, and so I went to rent an apartment, and I was going to be there who knows how long. I hadn't long-range plans. Anyway, I move in and I go into the spa and I get into the hot tub. And now here I was from Boston, right? Just got out of the military, and two people came along and got in. One was a member of the Real Cowboys. His name was Hugh O'Brien.
Yes, Hugh O'Brien. Yes, I was a pallbearer at his funeral, and I was at his wedding. 1956. I'm 6 years old in Massachusetts, watching Wyatt Earp. I'm 6 years old, never dreaming that 50 years later that man on TV would invite me to his wedding.
Really?
See, the military brought me here in 1972 in the Air Force, George Air Force Base, Victorville. And that's what. And I said, hey, there's no snow out here.
That's right. Don't go back.
But to reiterate a little bit real quick because of time constraints. Other famous guests that are coming to the Silver Spur this year. The man that's coming to give the invocation prayer, the one and only Mr. Rosie Greer, that night. And Stephanie Powers is coming, and Bo Hopkins.
And how can people buy tickets to this?
Well, all they got to do is go on realcowboys.org. That's REEL, realcowboys.org. You'll see my phone number there, 818-395-5020. And then when you go on there, or you can pay PayPal, it tells you what to do, or you can send a check in there. And by the way, all checks and payments are all tax deductible because we're a nonprofit organization. And the last time to send in the checks is the 12th of September. That's the last date to be able to send it. So anyway, that's what you need to do. Get a hold of Real Cowboys, and I'll tell you, once you see this show this year, you'll want to come back next year. Because next year, I mean, it's amazing what I'm going to have.
Well, I'm excited about this year because you kindly invited Chaplain DOV and I am like so excited because it's like bringing back good memories of good film, good stories, and fabulous stars who execute what they're doing in the right way.
And it's not just the memory of great motion pictures. It's the good work that Real Cowboys do every day here in our community in Southern California.
Yes, and anybody can join our organization. If you have a like-minded that you like Westerns, you like that, you can join our organization.
You don't have to be a real cowboy, right?
You don't have
I
to
love
be
that.
Because
Okay.
we got people that are producers, directors, behind-the-scenes people that have worked in movies, etc. So we have all kinds
And
of
again,
people.
how do they get to do that if they want to? Where do they go to do that?
Just go to realcowboys.org.
Okay.
REEL, cowboys.org. It's so simple.
That's
We can't
REEL.
Right.
Cowboys.org.
Yes, that's simple.
And they can also look you up, Robert.
My phone number is right there. You can't miss it.
And what is your email? What is your website that you would like people to go to?
Well, you can go to treasurer@realcowboys.org.
Okay.
Treasurer. Yeah.
Treasurer.
Yeah,
okay.
realcowboys.org. That's
Well,
that's my computer guy. He handles all the stuff.
I know
for me.
Charles.
Charles
I know.
Scott.
You have to introduce me to Charles that night.
Oh, you will.
I feel I know him already.
You're going to have to stand on a chair to give him a hug.
Okay, that's all.
He's that tall.
I love. No,
But she has to stand on a chair to give everyone a hug. So that's
not just him. Well, I have to say this. My birthday is coming up, and that was a delightful gift and everything to take us to the Real Cowboys Silver. Go ahead.
Silver Spur Award Show.
Silver Spur
21st anniversary.
Right, at Sportsman's Lodge, September 21st. Buy your tickets online, but really, I think the last date to buy them is...
Well, no, the last day to send a check.
To send a check.
Yeah.
Is September.
September 12th.
But
So
if you
please.
don't get to do that and you come to the door that night, cash only, people can still come in.
But there's a problem there.
What's that?
Because we have to have an accurate food count the week before. So if they come that night, they have to pay an extra $20 because that's what the venue does, and they have to make a special meal.
So please, before that, please go on the website and go on and look for Real Cowboys to send in your money, send in your check. We'll be there. Robert Lanthier, you are a gentleman and a scholar. I'm excited to have you here. God bless you. Thank you so very, very much.
And that's realcowboys.org.
Right. And just to tell you something else, while we're doing all this, Where would you want to be at this stage in your life other than what you're doing now? Is there something else that you would like to do for the Real Cowboys? What more can we do? What more can we tell our audience?
Well, do I have time to say
Yes,
it?
you do. Yes, you do.
This is all about you and Real Cowboys.
Yeah.
What I want to do, and I don't want to blast Hollywood and where it's going today.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been given a vision from a divine intervention.
Okay.
Major. Okay. I need to raise $3.5 billion to build the world's biggest motion picture studio on 12,000 acres. I'm not at liberty to say where it'll be.
Okay.
But we will be known as the Clean, Wholesome Studio. We're going to have 4 famous Western towns, actual working towns, that tourists all over the world will flock to go there and really enjoy being there. And that's just part of the studio. And it'll be just like it was back in the 1880s. And those towns are Deadwood, Dodge City, Tombstone, and Virginia City.
So you're remaking them at this place?
Yeah. Well, we don't have. We have to get the land and all that.
Right.
Too. It's going to be 12,000 acres. It's 18 square miles.
Wow.
So that'll be the biggest ever, and we're going to have the biggest sound stages to film all kinds of good things, office buildings, etc. Major event centers, and we're going to have also the biggest rodeo arena in the world. And we're going to. I mean, people just go there like crazy. Amusement parks, the biggest ever for the kids and family to enjoy.
All with the Western theme.
Well, not really. Just the Western towns and stuff would be a Western theme. Well, we're going to have old railroads and old railroad steam locomotives to bring people on, and stagecoaches and all that. But the sound stages and everything else will be just regular stuff. You know what I'm saying? And people that are working like the maids that take care of the rooms, you know, that every day, or the short order cooks. Well, you know, they have to work really hard on the outside to pay the heavy-duty rent for just one-bedroom apartment, like $1,500 to $1,800 a month. Well, and they have to work 2 jobs to supplement.
Right.
Well, they come to work for us at the hotels. They're going to have a nice one-bedroom apartment for only like $700 a month, so they won't have to work 2 jobs, and they'll be very happy. I want people to come to the studio every day and be happy to work there. And one of the biggest things we're going to be doing is we're going to be hiring 70% veterans to work at the studio.
Yes.
And a lot of these veterans will have been homeless veterans. We're going to have a team of people that's going to go out there and help them, train them, and come to work at the studio.
That would be.
And they're going to have a lifetime of can't wait to get to work every day. So that's what I want to be able to do.
And when did you get this vision? When did you think of something
like
that?
15 years ago, a prominent minister put his hands on my shoulder, and I was not a minister yet at that time. And he said, "Robert, God is telling me you're going to clean up Hollywood." I said, "Pastor, how am I going to do that?" He says, "God is telling me to let him show you the way." He said, "It could be 5 years from now, 10 years from now, 15 years from now." Well, here it is, 15 years, and it's coming to fruition. We've already got the logo. By the way, if you folks go online and go to Golden Trinity, ENT, that's short for entertainment, GoldenTrinityENT.com. You will see our registered logo up there, and we have 3 other ones with that too.
Wow.
The subdivisions, and it'll knock you for a loop when you see what our Father in heaven has opened up for us.
And we're about, I mean, can you say we're about this going to be? Not
I
yet.
can't. Well, let's put it this way: it's close by, but I can't reveal too much.
That's okay. We all like things that are going to happen.
Well, no, it's because of security reasons.
Okay.
You know.
Okay.
And all I need, and we're working on hopefully get some famous Texas oil billionaires that can pool together, because they're from the Bible Belt and they want to see good, clean, wholesome films too. Yes, and if they want to pool together and put up the money, well, they'll be part owners of the studio.
Like when you say wholesome westerns and movies and things, I think of like, even though it was like kind of, what would you say, action-packed, Magnificent Seven.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, shows like that. I mean, to me, wait a minute, didn't Sam do a Western last year?
Called Hero.
Hero.
Good, I think so, yeah.
Oh, that was...
He and Catherine Ross.
Right.
Yeah,
that was fabulous.
Right.
I mean, I really and truly, Robert, as a person who loves movies, I miss a Western.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there was maybe one out on the TV, not even in film, out there on the studios, but just one this year. I mean, I don't remember the last one.
Mm-hmm.
I think Sam's was it.
Well, Robert Carradine did one last year called Justice. A pretty good little movie. He did a Western. And also last year, Chris Christopherson, Trace Atkins, and Bruce Dern did a movie called Hickok about Wild Bill Hickok. It was pretty well received.
Really? I don't remember that one being out at all.
Yeah, it's doing well. It's doing well.
Well, good.
Well, we're not only going to do Westerns. I mean,
do everything.
You do everything. Period pictures we're going to be doing, like back in the 40s, 50s, or 60s. That's going to come under the banner of Old School Film Productions. That's another logo we have.
Okay.
And the beautiful faith-based films we're going to be doing, it's going to be called Crown Virtue Films.
Oh, I like that name. Say it again.
Crown Virtue Films.
Beautiful name.
And it's all registered. And, of course, the Westerns will be Black Stallion Productions.
Wow, I like that.
But we're going to be doing all kinds of movies. Movies about World War II, Korean War, whatever, and, good stuff like that. And comedies, musicals, even wonderful theatrical cartoons for kids that can go there. So we want to be able to make movies that mom and dad can take their kids to see without any fear of the filth that's out there on the screen that they're not forewarned about.
You're right.
They're not forewarned about.
Before we go, though, I just want to mention again the Silver Spurs Award, September 21st at Sportsman's Lodge. And the address for Sportsman's Lodge, I know it's on Ventura Boulevard.
Yeah, in the corner of Ventura and Coldwater Canyon.
Right, and that's in
Studio
City, California. You can go to Robert Lanthier's website, or you can go to REEL, R-E-E-L, COWBOYS.org, and see when it is again, and hopefully buy your tickets, and we will definitely see you there. Robert will definitely, and if you do come, and if you do call him or email them, please say that you talked to us on Pink Lady Presents, because we will be there to greet you, say hello, shake your hand, and welcome you to the Silver Spurs Award.
There's going to be a lot of media there that night, too.
Well, we're proud to have
And there's a
you.
gentleman named Roger Neal, who is a promoter.
Oh, yes,
Roger
you know
Neal.
Roger.
And we have worked with Roger, and he was one of the co-chairs of the America Salutes Our Veterans that Pink produced 2 years ago.
Well, he's going to be
and
there.
his wife, Lynn.
Right, he's going to be there with the media and everything. It's going to be a major. It's getting bigger and bigger every year.
It does, and I am so thrilled. Again, thank you again for coming.
Well,
thank you for telling us about your new project, which is most important. Again, God bless everyone, and remember, it ain't over till you say it's over. Thank you for tuning in.
God bless everybody.
Thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Bye-bye.
You're listening to Pink Lady Presents, only on LA Talk Radio.